Afternoon. I have someone I'd like you to meet here. This is Josie Ravenwing, and she is an expert guide to the Casa, and she's also written a book on medium joie. So here you are.
Thank you, Robert. It's a pleasure to be here and to be able to talk about one of my favorite subjects. The book that Robert was mentioning I have here, it's called The Book of Miracles, and I wrote it after spending several years here and having a lot of experiences and interviewing a lot of people. So my hope is that it provides a lot of good orientation for those people who will be coming here to help them get the most out of their experience. And I first came to the Casa in 1998. At that time, 10 years ago, it was me and thousands of Brazilians. Hardly anybody from outside of Brazil knew about Joel's work at that time. And it was quite an adventure and an amazing first 2 weeks visit here, which, as Robert has said, is kind of a bare minimum for your first contact at the Casa. And at the end of my 2 weeks here, Medium Joao asked me, after looking into my energy field really, and seeing my future, if I would be willing to be a guide to people who wish to come here for healing from outside of Brazil. And because I'd already had such a wonderful experience here myself, I'd already been thinking about all of the people who I wanted to tell about this wonderful resource. So I said yes, and 10 years since, I've spent about half of my time here. I've brought about 65 groups here now, so I've had lots of wonderful experiences introducing people to the Casa, and was actually the first North American guide, which was a great pleasure and a great honor. So from my experiences here, I wanted to say a few things to those of you who may be coming here, either with or without a guide, to help you prepare for the work that's offered here. And one thing that I wanted to say is that in my experience, to make the best out of the opportunity here, to really look at it as a collaborative effort or adventure. You have John of God and the entities that work through him and around him here at the Casa, teams of different spirit doctors and nurses and other high-level spirits who are doing their best for everybody who comes here. But really, each one of us who come here, are part of our own process, and in fact an integral part. It's not like going to a pharmacy and asking for a drug for a quick fix of an illness, but rather it's a profound spiritual process that each one of us enters into. And so we are very definitely part of the equation. And one of the things that I suggest to people before they even come here to help them make the most of the opportunity is to do some kind of personal inventory of your life, of yourself, looking at your mental, emotional, psychological, spiritual aspects, to see where it is that you may be out of balance. If you have an illness, to look to see if you are perhaps getting any secondary gains or benefits out of it, like extra attention or that kind of thing, that maybe you could find a different way of being nurtured besides being ill, and begin to let go of that way of getting what you need and open up to finding a new way. To look at what you're carrying with you from your past in terms of emotional baggage, so that when you come here, you can use this time as a retreat, in a sense, to begin letting go of things like burdens of guilt and fear, and doing your part to clear yourself, as well as welcoming the help that is really a unique opportunity here at the Casa by the work of the entities. And then when you go back home, to perhaps take a look after your process here at what you may need to change in your life. And sometimes all the change is simply internal, But occasionally, as you grow and change here and let go of what isn't really you or what isn't really what you need, you may find that your relationships may begin to shift. You may let go of some people in your life and open up to new people coming in who are more supportive of your new way of being in your life. Some people find that they need to shift their environment or their job. But as I said, most of the changes are usually internal ones, and from those changes, the details will fall in place. So that's one way that we can be involved in our process here and not just be turning everything over in hopes that the entities can fix everything by themselves. Now, the entities do quite a bit and have often amazed medical personnel doing things that perhaps doctors were not able to work on themselves. And it's not an either-or situation. When you come here, you want to keep up whatever protocol your doctors may have you following until you and your doctors agree that you don't need them anymore. So the entities definitely work with your doctors and can even heighten the effectiveness of your own doctor's treatments through the energy that they give. But the one thing that's really different here from what you would call Western or allopathic medicine is that the entities here go to the root cause of what is troubling you. And for most people, that is a combination of spiritual and psychological aspects, which cumulatively over time may affect the physical body. So the work here is deeply spiritual. It is a process. It's very individual. For some people, they feel change happening very quickly. For other people, it takes a longer time. For some people, it feels very subtle. For other people, it's more dramatic. So the more you can do an inventory of how you experienced your life before you come here, the more readily you will be able to see the changes that are happening, whether subtle or dramatic as a result of your time here at the Casa. And to finish, what I would like to say is that what I have found, what I've experienced, and what I've seen with other people is that the medicine here at the core is love. It's love that does the healing through, you can say, creator, through the entities, through your own inner connection. And what I feel is that most people are really out of touch with their own inner connection to who they are, which is that connection to universal love, creator's love. And so the entities will help you if you ask for your heart to be open. They will help you get in touch with that infinite source of love that's within you, that when you're in connection with it, all is well in your life, all is well with you, and everything that's out of balance can begin to come back into balance again. So I look forward to possibly seeing you here at the Casa someday, but if I don't, I wish you all the best in your journey, all the best in your path of life, in your healing process. Many, many blessings to you.
It's Wednesday morning, and everyone in their whites